Good day, all. And if you please, I'd like to read you a book. Maybe it's a story out of the book. Let's play it by ear. This is out of Shenanigans of Louie, and this story is called S&L is Not Savings and Loan, subtitled Salem and Louie Meet the Postman. The walk to the post box is all of 100 meters long, down a long gravel drive, alongside a wire fence, under the overhanging redwoods the entire way. There's a thin grass lawn area down one side that borders on a short stone wall. The side with the fence passes under those redwoods and is overgrown with various plants that can thrive in the shade. These low-growing bushes allow hiding places for ground-dwelling birds like quail and kiwi, but also provide good cover for the tunnels of rats and mice and hunting grounds for the neighborhood cats, of which there are two. The two cats aren't particularly interested in birds because they have human caretakers who feed them well. One of them is kept inside the house at night. That cat is Louie. The other one, well, that one is the exception. That cat has been collared and belled, and this is Salem. It isn't all about Louie this time. Salem, a black panther of a cat, just loves Louie. Salem was a recent addition to the area. He was still getting his bearings when Louie found him slinking along in the undergrowth. It could have easily been a territorial tussle between the two Toms, but Louie had been neutered, and as it happens, so had Salem. Louie was a lover, not a fighter, and in a case of love at first sight, a two-cat mutual admiration society, a group, started up. Amazing to me, there was no fighting, no hissing or spitting, just follow you, follow me. One famous S&L encounter involved the postman. Both he and I will never forget it. Picture this in the lead up to the story. Postal van pulls up into the road end of the driveway. The window rolls down and an arm reaches for the mailbox. Postman decides he's too far away from the box, but instead of relocating the van, he puts the transmission in park, unlatches his seatbelt, and opens the door. Postman swings his feet out of the van to the ground. Okay, the real story will start now, although I may have to back up a bit here too to give you a clearer picture. Panther cat Salem crouched in the agapanthus at the base of the mailbox post. His partner in crime, gray and white tabby Louie, approached the panther cat through a hole in the wire fence, wiggling his butt to get through the narrow gap. Louie had to cross the gravel driveway to get to Salem, but before he could make his final jump, the delivery van pulled up to the post box. In a case of perfectly poor timing, Louie leapt towards Salem just as the door was opening, and Salem was jumping at the same time at the disturbance caused by the postman. Louie bounced off the human's hip, and at the same time, Salem ran through the man's legs, and both cats ended up in the driver's seat of the van. They were frantically fighting to get back out while struggling to move away from each other, and in the spastic action of all this, the postman fell back under the truck and hit the gear selector, which jogged the transmission into low gear. Our mailman then fell back out of the van. The van started up the driveway without the driver, and the postman flailed with his back to the ground. Salem panicked and jumped at the dashboard, thereby hitting the radio volume. The sound of both cats and radio increased as the driverless van slowly crawled its way up the drive, heading for the fence and the redwood trees. Salem, Louie, and the postman were not the only ones in a panic. I saw these events, as if in slow motion, as I walked down the drive to retrieve my mail. Well, now I started running in their direction. Two blurs of cat fur passed within millimeters of my head as they shot through the driver's door window. I wrenched the door open and hit the brake with my hand. Then I slowly collected myself, inched my way up to the gear lever, and returned it to park. I found the ignition key and shut off the engine. I was shaking. Louie and Salem both disappeared through the underbrush as fast as kittens who are scared out of their gourds can go. My postman ran the 20 meters to his van, out of breath for that short distance. I guess it was a combination of nerves, quickened pulse, and being flustered at the happenings, but my mailman handed me the mail for someone else. That person lives 2 doors down. I offered him a cup of tea, but he declined, only saying a quick thanks for saving his hide and saving his van. He crawled his way back into the seat, started the motor, gave me a short salute, and backed out of the drive. I received my own mail about 2 days later, delivered by the relief driver. My man was on a week-long break, but I was advised that non-service drivers were not allowed to operate the mail vans, and the loan of said vehicle 2 days ago was the shortest and only one in mail delivery service history. A wink and a nod accompanied that statement. On my walk back to the house, along the fence line and the grass verge, under the overhanging redwoods and along that stone wall, I spotted Salem and Louie squatting there, ready to get onto the stone wall, positioning themselves as close together as they possibly could, and probably plotting their next misadventure. I think Louie has been a bad influence on Salem. Or maybe it's the other way around. Still, we'll never forget that SNL is not savings and loan. It's Salem and Louie, and they met the postman. Have a good day, and thank you for your time. Thomas said.